Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Graham Taylor here at Hudson Road. Today we're talking about how having one of these might affect your chance of getting a mortgage and how much you can borrow. Hi everyone, my name's Graham Taylor. I'm a whole of market mortgage broker with Hudson Road, and today I wanted to do a little video about maternity leave, having children, and how that might affect your ability to get a mortgage and how much you can borrow. If you need to have a chat about any of this in any more detail relevant to your circumstances, feel free to reach out, send a message, give me a call 0330 122 9920, and I'd be more than happy to chat through your circumstances and see how we can best help. So the first thing to say is that lenders can't discriminate against people being on maternity or having children. But they do have to factor in any changes to your expenditure and your outgoings, and obviously having children could be a major part of this. So what they're able to do is they're able to assess the maternity income in different ways. And it really depends on what lender you approach as to how they're going to actually sit down and work out the affordability. From a lender's perspective, it's important to recognise that having children means more mouths to feed, which means that there's less income left over each month to pay the mortgage. If you're on maternity leave or about to go on maternity leave, a lender is going to ask you if there's going to be any changes to your income, of which you're going to have to answer yes, because at that time your income's going to drop down. But a lot of people think that by saying that they're going on maternity leave or that they are on maternity leave means that they're unable to get a mortgage. The fact is, all the lender's going to do is ask some further questions for some further documentary evidence to make sure that you can afford the mortgage long term, because after all, the maternity leave is only going to last for a short period of time, whereas the mortgage is going to last for a lot longer. One of the ways in which they can do this is by looking at the pre-maternity income. So if you're going to go back to work on the same terms and the same hours as you did prior to starting maternity, then a lender may simply ask for your latest payslip before you went on maternity leave to clarify the income that you were earning and therefore the income you'll get going forward. Now, sometimes a lender may ask for you to write a letter to state that you're going back on the same hours as before, or they might actually write to your employer to get a reference to confirm that the discussion's been had and that the employer is expecting you back on the same terms that you previously left. Now, obviously, we have to consider that sometimes you may want to go back on reduced hours, and that's still fine. What a lender would do in that instance is pro-rata your salary. So if you're going to be going back on 3 days a week rather than the full 5, then they'll simply write for that to your employer to get clarification on the amount of hours you're going back on and crucially the income that will generate, and that's the figure they'll use for affordability going forwards. So it doesn't matter whether you're on maternity currently, about to go on maternity, as long as we have a clear picture and the lender can get a clear picture of what your affordability is going to be going forward, then as I said before, they can't discriminate against that. So good news. Another thing to add is that sometimes lenders might want to see proof of savings to cover any gap in maternity pay. It may be that you have maternity leave of 5-6 months, but intend to stay off slightly longer to spend time at home with the baby before going back to work. Again, that's absolutely no problem at all, but a lender might say, well, okay, there's a shortfall there, there's a few months where there's going to be no income coming in. Can you demonstrate to us that there is the savings in place to get you through that period? And as long as that's satisfied, that's not going to cause any issues, but something to be aware of should that come up. Finally, the big thing to remember is that once you've had a child, if you're going back to work, there may be childcare costs. So it's important to mention those to make sure those are factored into the affordability, because an underwriter will pick that up. And if you haven't done the background work and the affordability up front, that is where you could come unstuck. So you may not know the exact terms of the childcare, but it would be good to get the rough figure as close as you can, because you need to be able to say to the lender, okay, I'm going back to work, I'm going to be continuing to earn this salary, but I am going to have childcare costs coming of this per month because that will be factored in. Now, sometimes children may be looked after by family members, there may be no cost involved. Again, that's totally fine, but a lender will want an explanation because they would look at it and say, well, if both parents are working, then who's looking after the child? What are the childcare arrangements? Just so they can factor in any costs that are ongoing. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope it gives you a brief overview of the different ways in which maternity leave and children can affect your ability to get a mortgage, and just some of the documentary requirements you might need in order to get through those extra hurdles. The crucial thing is not to panic. Do your research, find the right lender, and know the terms which you're going back to work on, and everything will be fine. If you do want to chat about it further, you can get in touch with me on 0330 122 9920. You can send me a message on Facebook, or you can check out the website at hudson-rose.co.uk. I'm Graham Taylor, I'm a whole of market mortgage broker, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.